Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of Jonny and Mozza's Lessons in Confidence, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm tired. I'm really tired. I don't know what it is. I've been going through some of the things that I used to be doing, right? Looking at it going, I used to make 5 albums in a year, just like every year. I used to make like film after film, project after project, and I look at like my past and I just think, Jesus Christ, I don't know how I do that. Every time now when I have to go out for a gig or go to work or meet someone, I'm on the way there and I'm just out of breath and I just feel awful inside. And then when the thing actually happens, and that feeling kind of subsides for a bit, and I manage to get into things a little bit more and then start to feel more present. But I don't know, for the past sort of month or so, I've just felt like exhausted, perpetually exhausted, and I've been changing things about like my health. I've been trying to eat more healthily because I thought maybe that was the issue. That didn't help. I thought maybe I wasn't getting enough calories or enough protein. Didn't help. I thought I had an iron deficiency, and I started taking iron tablets. Didn't help. I thought it was a lack of vitamins, so I bought like all the vitamins that they had, little, and that didn't help. I thought it'd be magnesium deficiency. That didn't help. I thought it was that I wasn't getting enough exercise, so I increased the amount that I was working out every day. None of these things helped. I tried going out more. Didn't help, and I don't know what it was, but I just, for some reason, have just been absolutely exhausted, and it's not a nice feeling, right? It's been getting deeply in the way of these videos. The month of September I have pretty much written off as a month because I've gotten so little done. I've been doing back-end stuff mainly because I've been so exhausted that I can't, mentally and physically, that's the thing. So I've been trying to just do basic grunt work, like syncing, compiling footage for people, encoding videos, compressing files, sorting out my backup system, all of these sort of things, organizing my immense set of files. I've got about 30 terabytes worth of stuff that I've been sifting through over the last month. Uploading a load of YouTube shorts to my shorts channel, which I'm not going to link because it's a load of garbage. I've been doing so much stuff that's for the past sort of year I've been very busy, and then I realised that before that year point I was also very busy, and I thought there was a time like that I went from being fairly sedentary to being fairly active, and I thought it kind of happened in phases, but it turns out I've been like just go for about 6 years, and something in me just sort of crashed. I went on holiday recently to Vienna, and it happened while I was on holiday. I just completely crashed. I didn't even go out particularly much. I spent way too much time in the hotel because I was just so exhausted. I probably did the bare minimum, and it's annoying because I really wanted to enjoy Vienna more than I did. And I feel like my body or my brain was just getting in the way. This absolute exhaustion, or maybe a feeling of being overwhelmed by life in general, just kind of got to me. And I've been trying to make changes because I'm aware of what's going on, and I'm aware that I certainly have a few health habits that could be improved. Like I eat too much junk food, I eat too many crisps, I eat too much chocolate. That kind of thing. I smoke cigarettes. I've been trying to cut back on all of that stuff. And as I started doing that, it wasn't helping. But now I was just like unsatisfied and feeling like perpetually exhausted. And then I was like, so I don't even get to have a cigarette. Great, I can't have that little bit of escapism. And everything just started to get to me a little bit. And so this month I've been really unproductive, and I've been watching as I'm running out of videos to upload and just thinking, what the hell do I do? I've been so tired. How am I going to get more videos out? How am I going to get back into the element of making these videos, because I don't really, I know I've made videos about depression and about mental health and about sad topics, but I don't like to convey misery and sadness. I feel like there's way too much of that on the internet. I feel like the opposite is true as well. There's way too much like overwhelming positivity out there where just people are just all smiles like that, you know, and I don't want to do that either. So I've just been trying to be myself, you know, and for the past month I've been the same, exhausted. And if I made videos, they would turn out incoherent. The shots would be kind of awful because I didn't have the energy to even like, or the mental capacity to set up something interesting. I didn't have the energy to take the camera anywhere, so I did a lot of videos indoors when I don't really like doing that. And that's why lately there's been these videos of just editing that are kind of, they're rubbish at the end of the day. And I don't want to upload stuff like this. I want to get back into, you know, the element of making quality stuff in a quantitative manner. I want to make a lot of good stuff, right? And so I'm trying to get back into that. I've been trying to think how, and I've been making all these changes to my health, to my, you know, to my diet and to my exercise, getting out into the woods and stuff, and I've still been tired, right? And I realized I've probably like severely burnt myself out, right? Because for the past sort of 5 years, I thought I'd been burning out. And then looking back, I wasn't actually burnt out. Now I'm burnt out, you know. I remember one time I was going to the gym, right? I had to, you know, really psych myself up to go to the gym and be like, yeah, it's gonna be good this. You're gonna get to the gym, you're gonna get a lot of good stuff done. Come on, you can do it, man, I believe in you. And I got about halfway down the road, right? And my heart started to feel kind of heavy. Not like palpitations or anything, but just kind of like I could feel each heartbeat. They were regular, but I just started to feel them like that. And I have had a couple issues with heart palpitations. So I was trying to just sort of push through it and just get on with it. And at a certain point, my brain just sort of went like, nope. And I just turned around. And then I stood still, and I was just extremely still for about 2 minutes, watching people sort of walk by and cross the road and stuff like that. And then I started to walk home, and I got inside and I just lay on the bed, and I was just like this. I crashed onto the bed. And my heart started beating really, really fast, despite the fact I wasn't doing anything. I was breathing really heavily, and I didn't know what to do. I just sort of felt like incapacitated almost. And I ended up in that state for about 5 minutes. I managed to like wriggle myself up to like lie flat on the bed rather than curled up in a ball, which managed to help like let the body stretch itself, which allowed, you know, myself to breathe a bit easier. Right? And I just started in through the nose and out through the mouth, right? And I just kept that up, and I tried to make sure that I could, you know, I was fine trying to get the heart rate down. Because like, I hadn't even done any physical activity or strenuous activity that day. I'd woken up and, you know, I had some breakfast, sat on the computer for a little bit, and then I left. And then that happened, and I was just like, whoa, that wasn't normal. And occasionally I've kind of walked around and I've just sort of had this sort of like, whoa, like almost dizziness, not massive to the point where I've fallen over or anything like that, but just where I've had to ground myself. And it's almost like, I don't know how I'd describe it. Imagine a pint of water just like inserted at the top of your head, just works its way down. But it's not water, it's a feeling. Does that make sense? This sort of feeling just sort of weighs itself down and then exits through the feet, and then just leaves me. And then when it leaves me, I feel all right again. But when that's in me, it doesn't feel great at all. And, you know, occasionally I've had to go out and actually do work. You know, at work I've been a little bit lazier. In various video gigs I've been a bit lazier. And, I don't know, been less talkative. I haven't been reaching out to friends as much. I've been ignoring people. And it's all because I've been so tired. And I suppose mental health probably plays a part in it as well, but I'm not so much focused on the mental health part of it, but the physical health part of it. I went to get a blood test, right? Because I thought this might be an iron deficiency, right? So I stopped taking the iron tablets that I'd self-prescribed for myself, and I went off of those for a week and got myself ready to take the blood test. Then I get into the hospital. I swear I booked this blood test on the internet, but apparently I booked it through the GP or something like that. And what happened was I got into the blood test place, and then they said, who brought you in here? And I said, I think I did it online. And they went, you need to go to the Oster something thing. So I went to the Oster something thing. And I said, hey, I'm here for a blood test. And they went, do you do it yourself? And I went, yeah. And they tried to send me back to the place I just came from. So I went back to the place I just came from and said, hey, they've sent me back in. It's like, no, you need to go over there. So I went to the reception and I told them what was going on. And there was a woman at the back who was really nice and, obviously more like senior role there. She walked me through the hospital and took me back to the blood test place, the first one, and took me straight into a little clinic and said, can you look this guy's details up? I gave her my details and they said, you need something consent form. And I was like, what? And I was like, but I'm here trying to get a blood test, surely that's consent, right? Because I got an email from it and it said you need this consent form if you've been told to go for this blood test by your GP. And I swear I hadn't. I swear I didn't done it myself online. But apparently doing it yourself online is doing it through the GP. So they asked me to call my GP practice. I had to call the GP practice. They said I can come collect it. And I was like, well, I'm here for the blood test now. So I had to ask them, can you email it over? And then I had to pass my phone over to that supervisor woman, who then got it all sorted out, got the form. And then I heard her say, yeah, when it says yes, you actually have to do no because of this, that, and the other. And I was like, thank God, I've actually managed to get my blood test. And then I get to it, and it turns out it's not a blood test for testing iron deficiency. It turns out there's like 10 types of blood test. And I just got what's called a normal blood test, which apparently checks your kidneys and your liver. So my kidneys and my liver are all fine, which is good. My kidneys and my liver are great. However, I still feel tired, right? So I'm a little bit like, what's going on here? I don't really know why I'm sort of feeling tired. I'm kind of getting on my phone all the time, just kind of like this. And I'm getting myself sucked into YouTube shorts and things like that more often. And I find myself just going like this. And I find myself doing that for longer and longer and longer stretches of time. And I'm not sure what's causing it. And I've been trying to get myself back into things. And I realised that brute forcing things like I was trying to do wasn't helping. It was like limply hitting Mike Tyson, right? Like just trying to go like that and trying to knock him out. And it wasn't working, right? No matter how many times I limply punched him, right? And every time I punched him, and then it would be, like that, and it would just get worse and worse. And there's a Simpsons episode where Homer starts fighting wrestling, and it turns out that he's really good at getting punched. But before that, he's trying to punch other people, and he literally wears himself out after one punch. I felt like him after being worn out after one punch and still trying to knock out Mike Tyson. And I wasn't sure what was going on, right? So I realised maybe I need to quit the boxing match. Maybe I need to go home and recuperate. So that's what I did. I stopped even doing little things. I just started waking up, going to work, doing my normal job. But apart from that, I was pretty much just immobile, right? Not getting stuff done, just trying to eat healthily, keep my streak up with not smoking, all of this stuff. And that managed to work. That managed to do a little bit. After a few days of that, I started to feel ever so slightly better, to the point where I felt like I could do stuff. But I thought, hey, this is the trick, this. Don't start doing stuff just yet, because that's how they're going to get you, right? And then as time went on, I started to get just little bits of more energy back. And it still wasn't enough to really live a full lifestyle. But then when I would go out and do video gigs and stuff, I would feel down at first, but all right by the end. And so that's what I was trying to chase, that feeling of feeling all right by the end of it, right? And I call the bingo at my pub where I work. And so I started really enjoying calling the bingo. That was my element. I really enjoyed doing that. And because I could put on a bit of a showman sort of thing. 4 and 2, 42. 5 and 9, it's 59, the Brighton line. Right? And I had to talk with a fuller voice, whereas before I realised I was just kind of talking like this all the time. And you know, this isn't good for anyone, right? So I was trying to, I was getting back into my element slowly but surely. And what it was, I think, is just being kind to myself, allowing myself to take that time to not stress, not worry so much. And obviously I still stressed and worried through it all because it's me, but I managed to push it away and just focus on the present moment, which it wasn't a brilliant, interesting, perfect moment. It was quite boring, but maybe what I needed in that moment for those couple of weeks was to be bored. And I think it's working because I'm starting to feel more energy now. I'm starting to feel like I can do this again and get back into the element of things. And if I can do that, then I'll be pretty happy. I will be pretty satisfied with myself. That's all I want. I just want to get back into, you know, making these videos regularly. You might notice that I've gone down from doing 2 videos a day to doing 1 video a day. And if it kept on, I realised I was going to have to go down to 1 video every 2 days again. And I didn't want to do that. I might end up doing it more for long-term sustainability than anything else. But I'm just glad that I'm starting to feel like myself again. Because who I am is someone that goes at 1,000,000 miles an hour. But I realised it's not about going 1,000,000 miles an hour. It's about just moving at all, right? So I think that's going to be it from me, because now I'm in this present moment, right? I have the energy. Things feel like they're normal again. And I feel like I can get stuff done, and that's all I ever wanted. I just wanted to feel like I could get stuff done, right? It got so bad at one point that I had a driving theory test, and I literally forgot about it, right? For completely my own fault, but I didn't somehow remember it. I had a notification on my phone, right? And I still didn't do it. I still didn't remember it. That's how bad it got. And I would have failed it anyway, because my mental state was just so tired all the time. So I've rebooked my theory test, and I'm getting back on track, right? And instead of trying to sprint constantly and then wheeze for a bit and then sprint, I'm just going to enjoy walking. Decently fast walking, you know, like that power walking. Not power walking, but sustainable walking. I'm just going to walk. And then when I feel comfortable with myself, I'm going to start running. Jogging, in fact. And then I'll be able to see where we go from there. But for now, I'm going to leave you with this basic message that I've portrayed across this video, which is, you know, we all, even the most go people, end up falling down, right? Who do you look up to as someone who gets a lot done? Martin Luther King probably had down days, you know? Everyone has down days. Everyone has a day where it just feels like the world is getting on top of them. Everyone has that time where they burn out and crash out and just need to recuperate. Everyone overexerts themselves and ends up having to get back onto, you know, the wagon. Everyone falls off and everyone gets back on, but you can do it. I believe in you. So, yeah. Leave a comment below about when was the last time that you felt kind of like what I felt like there, and what did you do to get yourself out of it? Have you gotten yourself out of it? And if you haven't, do you think this video helped you in any way? If it did, let me know. If it didn't, also let me know, and I can make another video trying it and try it again. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, everybody. You've been pretty nice. You've been a nice person, and take care. Bye bye.